because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniac. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
What's up? Welcome to embark television. We are on episode 118. We are going to be talking about liquor store and search on every corner. My name is Weepy.
Troy Everett.
DJ Drumtastic. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you for
Liquor store,
joining.
liquor store, church. Liquor store, church, liquor store, gun store, bail bonds, bail bonds, liquor store, church.
They say bail bonds too?
No, I just added that on there. Gun store.
You guys, what you think about what we're talking about tonight?
Yeah, it's
Okay, Miss Donna Hill. Thanks for joining in, Donna.
yeah, thank you for joining in. Thank you.
Episode 118.
Join in.
Yeah, so want to get everybody's not information, but input on this topic that we're going to talk about. But before we do so, we got to take care of a little business. If you're on here, make sure you share, like, comment, do whatever you can just to help us out with the algorithm. Really helps us to push the information out there. Secondly, we have a very, 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 I can't say this enough, very important announcement. Next week, we'll be doing Justice for Jalen 2. We've got some bad news from the attorney. For those of you who don't know, Jalen was he was murdered in jail. He was taken to jail on a small misdemeanor, young kid. His parents are always on here, the Malloys, Greg and Shay. I see Shay is on here. Hey, Shay.
Hey, Shay.
They're giving some more information about what's going on. We're really going to make a push for justice for Jalen. He should have never went to prison, or he should have never went to jail, the county jail in the first place. He went to the county jail and never came back out. He was murdered in jail. So somebody has to be held accountable when it comes to this, and we need to get the information out there. We need to push the information out there. We need all of your help to push this information out. So next week, we're going to have videos, clippings, things that you can share, that you put out there to get the awareness about what happened to Jalen. So we'll have his parents come on. So we really, really need to push this.
She's asking next week, like, maybe she's not ready. Ask her if she's ready. Are you ready? Is next week too soon? Shay, let us know.
Yeah, let us know if that's too soon. I just got the email today that the lawyers are trying to do. Well, they're not giving you guys the information. I don't know what I can say or what I can't say. That's one thing we need to do is get together so we don't,
she said too soon.
Too soon? Okay.
Too soon.
The next 2 weeks. But we're going to be mentioning it. We're going to ramp it up until we get there. We'll be giving out information on our Facebook page. We'll be saying every time we do a live or a posting, you'll hear about it. So stay tuned.
All that good stuff. Okay, so you guys, before we get into the subject, I'm going to put up the link because first of all, we're going to talk about
merchandise.
Guys, we got the hoodies, the long sleeve t-shirts, the short sleeve t-shirts, the hats. I don't have on mine today. We got vests. What else? You can get the Idiotbox on socks and your thongs, ladies. Your drawers, your briefs, brother, whatever. Hats, you name it. you can get it. So please, please, please support what's going on. Cherie, thanks for joining in. Once again, I did post the link for t-shirts and hoodies and other merchandise. Go to www.troyeverett.net. All right. Now,
okay, so Shay,
go ahead.
Shay, just a quick interruption. Sorry. Shay says yes because our attorney wants to be available to watch. So yeah, we need to clarify some things from the attorneys of things we can say and things we can't say, but we really need to make this push.
Exactly.
And also want to let everyone know that if you guys want to come in the green room, make sure you have the camera correct, and also be in the center with the light on so I can read your lips.
Right.
Thank you.
Hey Del, thanks for joining in. This one might be right up your alley. We're talking about churches and liquor stores. Which one? On every corner in the inner city, which one does the most damage? Or I mean, which one does? Which one?
Which one?
I meant that.
Probably. Let me see. We're not really talking about it quite yet, so we're not trying to give it all away. But wait, before we do all that, let's just do this first of all.
Blacklist. Make sure you guys join the Blacklist group if you're an entrepreneur or if you have a small business. It's a networking platform that we put together where people are exchanging information, ideas, products, and services. Go on there. It's very beneficial. It's growing every day. We get new businesses in there. It's a great way to show off your products and services. This month we'll be doing a Blacklist review. We're going to take 2 companies out of there and we're going to review the company, have the company owners come on and talk about their products and services. It's a really good tool for those of you who want to start a business or have a business. Go ahead and join on there, post your stuff. It's just another way to market your products and services. Exactly. Free of charge.
Free of charge. I post a lot of stuff every day in there, all kind of business from everywhere. So if you're not sure how to post and you're on Facebook, just send it to me or send it to Troy or send it to Sharif and we'll post it for you.
Hey, and Shelly.
Oh, yes. Who was that who said they wanted a t-shirt?
Dell,
www.troyever.net and click shop. Or go back to this feed where we comment and you can get the link off of there.
Hey, Aunt Shelly. She's just got back from the Bahamas.
Woo! Yeah. Fun.
Yeah, having good old fun. Hey, Christy Polk has joined us. Thank you, Christy, for joining in.
Yes, thank you for joining
in. Liquor stores and churches on every corner.
You guys, Christy will tell you what's up with the Blacklist and how it works.
And we got to get almost said definitely. I said it. We got to get Del on here. Del, we got subject matter that we would like you to come on. We might have to just do it on a weekend, Del, when you're off, and we'll just pre-record it to have you come on and talk about. He has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to a lot of the subject matters that we're talking about: church, history, secret societies, things of that sort. I love Blacklist. I got several events from the Blacklist. Great. Good to hear. Keep posting all your stuff in there, Christy, so people can see it. She does an amazing job with event planning and baking cakes and cookies and making people fat like me. So make sure you check out Janine Sweet Treats.
Yeah, Janine Sweet Treat. Now, you guys, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube right now, all at the same time. So I'm gonna put up those links so you guys can, if you watch it on one thing, maybe you can watch it on another site later. In case you didn't know that.
Drummer, did you put my niece stuff up on the Blacklist?
You didn't send it to me, did you?
All right, we'll make sure we get her stuff up there on the Blacklist.
Send it to me again. I'll do it tonight. Please send it to me.
Hey, Sharif, you got your icebreaker ready?
Yes, I do. Yep. Icebreaker, what is one fear you have?
One fear. What is one fear you have?
You have.
Jeez. Drummer? What you
Don't
scared
ask,
of?
why you always ask me first?
Because I don't know.
I don't know. I can't say what I'm scared of. Let me think. Get back. Go to Sharif. He's had time to think.
Yeah, it's your icebreaker. What are you scared of, Sharif?
What do you have?
Me personally, man, you know what? Pinball.
Pit bulls.
I got a fear with pinball.
Man, I'll choke a dog out in a second.
Man, what? It can't do nothing. It just got a mouth, really. So that's all you really got to worry about? Oh, it's on. I might bite the dog.
Christy says her biggest fear is that I won't have any grandchildren. Yeah, that would suck.
Damn,
no.
Oh, that would suck. Let's see. Fear. I don't know.
I don't either.
You know,
Okay.
but if you can't answer that, grandkids.
What'd she say?
I ain't laughing at that.
My greatest fear has already happened. Justice for Jalen. Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's every parent's fear is to lose a child.
Okay, so I can say that. That's about the only one I can think about. And then this is what Cherie said.
I'm afraid of midgets. No lie. It scares the shit out of me. Oh, come on.
I know midgets.
Man.
It's scared of midgets. Midgets are people too.
Can we say midgets?
Oh, can we?
I don't know.
Can we say?
I'm not politically correct.
Well, little people, grown people.
The vertically challenged.
Wow.
Man.
Anybody else? The icebreaker again. Oh, yes. Nicole said it's little people. That's what I said.
Little people.
Okay.
All right, so we don't say midgets no more. They're not midgets. So don't use the word midgets. We're not using midgets. Don't say midgets. No more midgets. We can't say midgets. No midgets. No midgets. Just little people.
Man, read what Dale had to say, man. You is something else. We ain't in the subject yet. Go ahead.
Okay, in terms of liquor stores and churches, they both have their prospective places. I haven't totally given up on the church. The church is still very useful, especially for specific people, as long as it's in unity, in order, and total faith. Just remembering the civil rights movement, our community churches were headquarters for the community activating civil rights and other events, still a sanctuary for us. Yeah, we'll come back to that one, Del. I'm going to reread that, but yeah, that's part of I've given up on churches, but we'll get to that in just a second. Shay says, would hate me because I send vids of them to everybody. Let's see. No, Shay. It's crazy. Yeah, so I guess I don't know. Fear. I don't know. I have this reoccurring dream that I wake up and there's holes in my roof. What does that mean? Anybody? And the rain's coming through the holes in my roof. I don't know if that's a fear, but I have a reoccurring dream where there's leaks in my roof. Crazy.
Oh my goodness. You know what that means?
What's that?
That means you're going bald up top.
I don't have that problem yet.
You going bald up top. It ain't your roof. It's the top of your head.
I don't have that problem yet.
No, you did not say you have a dream. Yes, you do. It's
I
thin.
don't have a problem yet. That's you two.
I don't have no hair, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
She's Nicole says that she doesn't do snakes.
No, she don't.
You know that I totally understand, cuz he's talking about when I said I've given up on churches. Well, I don't know if I've given up.
You skip Shay's comment.
What'd she say? Oh, my husband's mad as.
Yeah, justice for Jalen, you guys.
Yes,
That's what we're gonna say. We're gonna make the new hashtag, Shay. Hashtag J, the number 4J. There it is. New hashtag. J4J. Go ahead, Troy. Read your stuff.
J for J. It says, we all have leaks in our roofs, cousin. We can always do better in life. Just remember, in the movie Color Purple, the little boy said, it's going to rain on your head. Yeah, maybe that's what it's going to.
That's it. Man. You're going bald. That's exactly what it is. You're going bald. Oh, okay.
Oh, I was talking about little people vids. Greg got mad.
I know you're mad about that too, but anyway, yes, okay. Yeah, you know what? When I see them, I have to get away from them because honestly, I do laugh a little bit, but hey.
That's just wrong. You shouldn't laugh at people with.
Man, shut up, man. You the main one need to cut it out. Move on. Okay, so you guys, how was your day today? How's your week been going? How's the weather where you are located? Out here in Georgia, y'all, it's cold at night in the 30s. During the day, we're like in the 50s. Just throw on a little hoodie with the sun out and you chilling. Troy, what about yourself?
Oh man, it's cold down here. I got to 66 today.
Whatever. It's cold down here.
66. I had to put a jacket on. Down here in Ormond Beach, it was chilly.
What about you, Sharif, in Michigan?
I can't really say too much, but we're up and down on the weather, which is the flu time.
Yeah,
all time.
Yeah, the weather.
Shay, 66 today? Oh no, she's talking about where you at, Troy. What you got out there, Sharif? About 30 degrees during the day today?
I'm not sure what it is, but it's trying to feel like it's in the 50s, and then it's trying to feel like it's in the 25 or 30.
Nah, it ain't no 50s.
It's trying to feel like
the high
it's cold.
The high was 48, and right now it's 40 degrees.
No, what I'm saying is a night in the day, and the weather is changed. You know what I'm saying? It's going back and forth with it. So
yeah, that Michigan weather is something else, man.
Tonight, your low is going to be 29.
Okay, that's what I was saying. 30, around the 30s, something like that. And then it would be 50. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys, we've been yippering and yappering and all that good stuff. So let's go on and move on. All right. So
go
ahead, Troy. Go ahead.
Oh, today's subjects: liquor stores and churches on every corner. Why? In the inner city.
Why?
Not anywhere else. Why? Why do you think that is, drummer?
Well, I'll tell you this. For decades, African American churches have provided as a haven. Since the antebellum period, the church's strong sermons and choirs have provided us with solace. After the great migration of the African Americans from the South to the North in 1916, we begin to witness an increase in the number of liquor stores, which once again provided our community comfort. But at what point did the pleasures that we take pride in become an addiction? I mean, the information is available. There are about 400 churches in Gary, Indiana, a small divided town where the legendary Michael Jackson grew up, and liquor stores are not far behind. meeting path on every corner.
I wonder which ones make the most business.
You know what? That's a good one. Probably liquor stores.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because everybody from everywhere comes there. If you're passing through, you're going to stop right there and get you, who going to pass through and stop at a church that you really don't
Right.
know about?
So there's some, positive benefits of churches being in a community. One is churches provide social benefits, right? Churches provide local benefits. Churches help decrease crime. See, I don't know if that's true. Churches promote mental and physical health. Well, that's true. We're trying to get your spirit up, right? Churches promote outcome that improves government stability and economic growth. I don't know about that either. What do you guys think about that? Do churches promote outcomes that improve government stability and economic growth? Because last time I checked, a lot of the churches are telling you to vote for Trump.
Wow. Okay, so listen, so we don't miss this. We're talking about whether Christy said she was in Baton Rouge for her daughter's graduating Southern University with a bachelor's of science in psychology. Come on, let's give it up. And it was 60 out in Baton Rouge. So Sheena said, congratulations. And then we got into this conversation. Nicole says, control and self-medicating.
Ooh.
Shay said, churches make more money than the liquor stores.
Okay.
And then we got Dale. Which one makes the most is a good argument. If it's a mega church like Joel Osteen, it'll be any liquor store combined. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I read an article that Joel Osteen's marketing or media budget was $80 million a year.
Woo! That's the media budget?
That's his media budget.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
But it all depends on the certain members they have. The certain members, and the size are different. But
that don't make no sense.
But I say that basically we need more activity in the community. But really, they're rising up basically. That's how I look at it. So what they're doing is they're keeping all the blacks in the red zone with the red line. So that's what we're known for, just being in the city. Every city from all over the place have liquor stores and party stores, but they all are different because they have certain amount of feet away from each other. Some of them is like 250 feet, some of them 600 feet, some of them 1,000 feet away from each other.
Right.
But here's the difference too.
Some have alcohol and some of them don't have alcohol.
That's what I was gonna say. Some of them have alcohol, but no liquor. So you still got a store that's selling beer, wine, and don't forget Wild Irish Rose and all that. That's like liquor. Cisco is worse than liquor. I know.
Yeah.
Troy, you got some stuff to read.
Okay, where were we? Were we here? Which one makes the most of the argument? Okay, we read that one. We're at Shay. What churches is beg very efficiently and convincingly. Churches, all of them, they are tax shelters. Yes, they are. They are nonprofit.
Yes.
They don't pay any taxes. You want to save the economy? I say tax the churches. Since in the church, there's supposed to be a separation of church and state, right? The church is not supposed to talk about political. They're not supposed to push a political person or get involved in politics at all. So there's a separation of church and state. And if you do so, you're supposed to get your tax exempt taken from you if you do that. So I say tax all the churches. Tax all the churches in the United States. Get rid of the tax. Let them talk about whatever they want to talk about, how they want to talk about it. Tax the churches.
Yes, tax the churches. That's some more taxpayer money.
The liquor store.
Look,
Oh my
that's
Well,
some
goodness.
hold
tax.
on, hold on.
Look, that's
Okay.
more to go to Ukraine then, Troy.
But hold on. You said taxes, right? But a lot of the stores don't have to pay taxes.
What
The
stores?
one,
Yeah,
the
what
one
store?
coming
Tell me.
no. The ones that's be coming from another country coming
No,
to the United
that's
States.
not true. That is not true. That is not true. No, that
Not
is not true.
every 7 years.
No, that is not true.
They just
So
switch it
what?
over, it's a different name.
Did you
That's
read
not
that?
true.
That's not
No, preachers own the liquor stores. They just hide their hands. Welcome, Larry Steele.
Thanks for joining in, Mr. Larry Steele.
No, that's not true. So
you think
what
it's
you're
true.
talking? No, that's not true. If you establish a LLC or a business within the United States, doesn't matter if you're, from Saudi Arabia or not, your store pays taxes. You pay taxes. But yeah, that's a myth. So in Grand Rapids, Michigan, most of the liquor stores and gas stations are owned by Arabs.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
And one thing in the black community is the black community thinks that they come over here and get tax exempt.
Nope.
They're not tax exempt. They may have connections to some, Middle East oil money. They may have some connections to that, but they're not tax exempt.
There you go.
True. Yet, whenever a politician is up for election, is a black district, the first stop is the black church. Yeah,
That's very much true.
yeah, and they parade them through there, and they let them say whatever they want to say, and then
Yep.
they'll say, "Hey, we don't want you to vote for this person, but we want them to come here and say something to the people." So yeah,
That's
tax
great.
churches. The churches do not need to be tax exempt. You've got mega churches like you said, Joel Osteen. What's the big gorilla looking guy?
The gorilla looking guy? Who are you?
TD Jakes.
What are you talking
TD Jakes. TD
Not-
Jakes.
You did
Yeah.
not call TD Jakes a gorilla looking guy.
Hey, yeah, that dude. That dude that had what's his name? Yeah, tax the hell out of him. I agree, Nicole. TD Jakes, they're making millions and millions of dollars.
Yes, you're right.
You got
They are.
Cleflo down there by you, drummer. You got Cleflo Dollar. How much money does he make, and what does the area around him look like?
Woo, Old National. It don't look good at all. You gotta
Millions and millions of dollars. It gets millions and millions of dollars, but yet your community looks like crap. Even in Grand Rapids, Michigan, you got several people. Pray for Troy, please do.
Yes,
Please do.
please do.
Even here in Daytona Beach, you could go out the back door of one church and go in the front door of the next. They're all over the place. But what are they doing for the community? I know when it comes to morality, moral, spiritual thing, that's great. But nobody's going to your church. And everything around your church is falling apart. I think the church needs to do more.
Look,
That's
you
it.
see what? Look what Sharif said.
That nigga got his own Bible. Jakes do.
Oh shoot!
He don't do shoot for the community, but buy up the properties tax free. See, that's sad. Now we're hearing
Right.
a lot of people. We're hearing a lot of people that are kind of against the church. I want to hear from some people that go to church and have something positive to say. What the church does for the people, other than sell them hope for salvation.
Yeah. Because let me tell you something. I can go around the corner to the liquor store right now. It's not close, down the street, and I'll tell you that parking lot will be packed. It's so packed at this liquor store that there's like 3 different food trucks there that can sit there and make money while people are going in and out getting liquor. It's really something serious. Liquor is a big business. Now, I know it may be in our neighborhoods more, but it doesn't matter where it's at. That's big business. It is. So
College Park liquor store is all down Old National Highway. You're right, Larry.
exactly.
And for all those who don't know, Larry Steele is in the Broadcasters Black Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
All right.
Radio
All right.
broadcasters. So congratulations, Mr. Steele.
Yes, congratulations. Thanks for joining in.
Really appreciate it. Sheena says, my church, New Faith Temple Church of God in Christ, Latter-day Saints on the third day of communion. No, I'm sorry. I'm just messing with the name. I was just messing with the name of your church. I'm sorry. Why you got all that shit in there? It is about the community. Well, that's good. They should shorten their name so you guys don't have to say. Shorten your name. That wasn't supposed to say shoot. Auto-corrected that. Let's see. Cherie says the liquor stores here are open at 9 in the morning, and people be there that early in the morning.
Dang. What in the world? 9 in the morning? Look, before breakfast? Dang.
Dang, that's crazy.
That is.
Sheena, the acronym is even too long. The acronym to your church is even too long.
You are stupid.
A lot of your Church of God in Christ is old school, like from the 50s and 60s. Sincerely faithful and good-hearted people with still pure intentions. Dr. Jeremiah Wright, Dr. Jeremiah Wright, I take my hat off to him. Totally agree. It's still a real reverend, a real reverend. Barbara Williams II, and still real people like James Combs, but he passed on. Yeah, I mean, I do agree. Guys, look those guys up. They're doing a lot in the community. They're marching on Washington. They're trying to change laws. They're making a difference within the community. I'm not saying all the churches. I'm just saying put it this way. If you have a church, because I've worked for churches for 10 years, and I've sat in on their meetings and they got what they're called board meetings. You got people are on the board of the church. So I'm in these meetings. Do you know that a church of 200 people, just 200 people, congregates? That doesn't mean they come every Sunday, just 200 people that are in the congregation. Not everybody goes every Sunday. Right. They gross over $1 million a year. $1 million, 200 people. That's a lot of money. Is it really about the community, or is it just about parishioners that live in the community? That's a good question. Because you can go to the liquor store, like she said, at 9 o'clock in the morning and get a beer. Can you go to any church on the corner at 9 o'clock in the morning and ask for a meal?
You right. You is right. And you?
Who pays them? Who pays them?
Yeah, but what? Here's the thing: the liquor store is open 24/7.
Well, not
you
that
got to. Well, liquor store is open all the time.
The church is not open all the time.
Is not all week. Can you go to the church on a Monday morning if you're hungry and get fed? That's what I'm. Can you go to church on a Monday morning, 9 o'clock, knock at the door and say, "I'm hungry, feed me"? Or is your church closed?
No, they'll just have a flyer or something like that. Whatever day they put in for them to come out to get food or whatever they have.
Right.
It don't have to be just food. It could be other things, TV, stuff like that.
Right.
But I remember one time I went through the church. They were going through giving people new furniture for the house.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think the church does some good things, but the church, if you're making $1 million with 200 people, you can do a lot more than what you're doing. You have a food drive every Sunday, or you have feed people every Sunday after they've come to church. That's bullshit. You should be open. If you got a kitchen, you should be open, feeding the poor. That's
Yeah.
what the gospel is about. That's what it says. You should be
It's
open every day.
a non-profit, so you can do that.
You can and you should. I mean, if you even go back and read Acts, if you go back, and I'm going to tell everybody, go back and read Acts and see how the church started. Everybody brought their tithes or their offerings. Nobody in the community, because that's what church is for. That's what church is. Church is not a building. Church is a community. We think the church is four walls. It's not. That's not what the gospel or the translation of church meant in the Bible. It meant community or gathering of people. That's what church meant. Go back and read your Acts. And they said that everybody brought in their food, their money, and nobody needed or wanted for anything. That was the purpose of the church. Is that happening now? Is your church doing that? No.
Okay, read. You got some stuff to read.
Oh,
you want me to read it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll read it. Well, Sheena said thanks, cousin, when Dale came in. He said, oh yeah. Shay says, and 90% are probably poor too. The people that are buying the liquor. Ricardo, thanks for joining in. He said, that's a lot of liquor. Right, a lot of liquor. Cherie, the churches don't do shit for the community. They want your money for the tithes and offering. And as soon as a member need help with rent, they're out of funds. Make that make sense. If tithes supposed to go back to the church, how you out of funds? Okay, Cherie, that's true. Okay, Nicole said, or ask for a place to lay your head for the night or for prayer because you're struggling, or food when you're hungry, even when you're not a member. She's talking about the church being open, when it's open, and if you can or cannot get help. Like she said, some churches want you to be a member and have put your money into the church already before they will help you. That's some churches.
Well, the church I went to, they include
That's one church.
Well, there's other churches out there that too. Not just one person. There's a whole bunch of different churches doing good things too. And there are some that like how y'all thinking.
It's the majority of people think. It's the way the majority of people think. It's not just us. It's the majority of the people think. The church is failing in its deeds to the community. That's just point blank, period.
And it's not all. It's not all.
No, the Jewish synagogues are exactly like that. They operate for the people, their people, and that's another thing. The tithes was something that was Jewish law, and the reason they had the tithes was because the Leviticus, the priests, the Leviticus, the people of the laws, they didn't have anything. So when you gave the tithe, that went to the people, the parishioners of the I think it's Leviticans, went to the Leviticans. The Jewish people practiced that, but after they were dissembled from, Israel, and they're no longer there, and there's no more Levites, they did not give the tenth. They didn't give the tithe because that's what the tithe was for. It was for the Levites. Go read your Bibles, people.
Or it wasn't like you said. It was supposed to be for the community and not for a building.
Right. It was supposed to be the community. So when the Jewish people departed and there was no more Levites in the book of law, if you look at Leviticus, that's where the tithe went. They stored that up because they didn't have generations of people. So that's where the money went. The money went to help them out.
Okay. So Shay said when the situation for their son happened, justice for Jalen, of course, we asked for prayer from a mega church when our youngest was born prematurely, my fault, and they never responded. And she said that was from a mega church.
Wow.
Okay. Nicole, and why the pastor, minister, or bishop don't have a job? Jesus was a carpenter. You better than him. Get a job.
Yeah.
They don't have.
What's the next one?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm looking.
Why do you fit so many churches in the poorest community? Now that's true. Why are there so many churches in the poorest community?
And what purpose are they serving? See, that's what we wanted to know. So we've got liquor stores and churches on every corner. Like Nicole said, the church or the liquor stores are for self-medication. The churches are for you come together and supposedly helping people. So why do the inner city communities look so bad?
Why? What exactly are the churches doing to help? Really? I mean, really, you just think there's, if you look in certain areas where there are churches, there's houses that are like the roof is messed up, the grass is not cut. So if you got a nonprofit church, why not go around and see what the people need? Maybe they might need a roof. You could write off a $9,000 roof if you have a church, can't you?
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah.
Okay. Ricardo says there is a case to make from the idea that any religious community, from the perspective of evolution, serves an immediate community. The idea of organized religions at the scale that we have now is a new phenomenon. Ricardo, you're going to have a lot to say. You might as well just come on. Let me give him the link. Let me give you the link.
Sheree says, as I said earlier, they don't give a fuck about the community. You know, see, that's the consensus about the church. Now, I've seen churches, like Sharif said, I've seen some churches do some miraculous things. I've seen actual miracles in churches before. So don't think that I'm against all churches.
No, I'm not.
I'm not. But these churches that I have gone to were mostly from the Caribbean. These were Caribbean churches where I've seen the pastor put up the money, like every quarter they'll put up the money. Hey, we got this much in tithes. This is where this went. And they would show everything every quarter where every dime of your tithing money went to help the community. Their churches are open. Their churches are open 24/7. They don't close their churches. They have different programs for the children. They feed the children, clothe the children. Buses that they would take kids to schools if they didn't have buses, pick them up. There's a lot, some churches are doing well, but I see that far and few between.
Right. Ricardo came in too. You got something to read, Troy, before we bring him in? Read that.
Okay. Self-serving is what they're doing, stealing from the poor while manipulating, turning into thinking it's going to be blessing and you're giving all your money. But again, if you allow somebody to tell you what the tithe is and you don't research it, you're going to be screwed anyways.
Yeah, it's just like not reading a contract. When you go buy something, you got a whole contract. Ricardo, what's going on?
Hey, how we doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Ricardo?
I'm doing well. I apologize for all the misspelling on my last post.
We know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I tried. I think my education was in a church or something like that. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
All right.
Just kidding.
Well, I mean, you could be a good person to ask this since you grew up in the church. Your father was a pastor. Your mother still pastors a church.
That is correct.
There are.
It's a very interesting topic. I think in the way that we evaluate, and I'll start from the perspective of what I posted, because. In full honesty, right, when we start evaluating these things over time, there is a case to make that we have never experienced religion in this setup of organization. We're talking about transcontinental ideas, right?
Right.
And more importantly too is that then we find ourselves asking a very, I think, legitimate question that even the church or any religion has to answer in a modern day is, what is the functionality of what it performs? Because you could make an argument that let's talk about it's because the one that I have on top of my head right now, right? But Martin Luther King Jr. was a pastor, and he performed a role in society in terms of advancing, right, justice and equality.
Right.
So there you have an argument to make that,
But he was also an adulterer.
of course,
Whoa, huh?
listen, we're all sinners. It's all good.
Good.
It's all good. I mean, personal characters aside, right? I'm not
Right.
necessarily right.
I just had to say that because uh, Ricardo's thing. When I just said that because there was two people during that time. You had Malcolm X
Yeah,
and
that
the
is correct.
FBI were looking into both of them, and they said Malcolm X was a saint compared to Martin Luther King.
And I understand that. I'm not, again, in the perspective of talking about Malcolm X. He practiced, right. He was a practicing Muslim,
Hmm.
but he was not a leader of a community of faith. He was
Right.
more of a political, right, a political uh, 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 personality, right, a political force, if you will, because he never did it from the perspective of his religion, or he didn't, convey the same framework of Martin Luther King or MLK in terms of the religion aspect being the fundamental idea, right, or the base of it, which
Hmm.
is the idea that I want to challenge, or the idea that the religion has to challenge today or answer today. What is its functionality in a modern era where we are all having a high consciousness about our society? Modernly, again, I'm not saying that it's perfect. I don't think we are fundamentally answering, we're that close to answering that question for all the ages to come. And the reality is that we have been asking this question very early in the dawn of humanity as to how we go
Right.
about this functionality. What I am answering, what I do want to make sure is that we when we talk about the church and the elements, and I'm talking in general, in
Right.
general, I'm not justifying it. I'm not necessarily for it. I just try to place the idea as to how I would frame it. And that in the idea of any religious community, right? At the planting of a group of faith in a local community will almost entirely serve that identity of that community that it's in, right? Um, that we should do a better job. That the community, any faith community should do a better job in terms of outreach, absolutely. But we're not talking about, again, the dichotomy of, say, missions programs. A lot of churches and a lot of congregations. I'm going to use the word congregations for all religions because
Right.
they all,
Right.
right, they all have some sort of mission approach, a missions approach, right? So all communities of faith, right, they have these outreach that try to serve other communities,
Hmm.
right? And there is a good and a bad, and mostly I would say that in between the good and the bad there's an element of ignorance, because obviously they do it with an interest of
Gaining more parishioners.
yeah, that is correct, getting attaining more membership, Christians or any people to adapt or attach to their faith.
Right. So
There,
so this is what I'm asking you. So is the mission of a church, like you said, every church has some type of mission. Most majority of churches are to spread the good word, the gospel. I'm going to go out and
yeah,
spread the gospel, get the word, convert
yeah.
people to Christianity, blah blah blah. Right.
Mhm.
But is that in essence what the church was built upon and was for?
From the perspective of the Christian faith, from the perspective of the Christian faith, is both. Is both. It's supposed to be that the acts or the works of the church speak about the nature of their idea, right?
Mhm.
Because you were given salvation without any strings attached, right? You have been born again and redeemed. Everything that you do, everything that you expose to the community, and everything that you give to the community, you do so in the name of Jesus Christ, because you remember that he demanded from the church to be kind, to look for their brethren, right? regardless of what their brethren may have, you know, believe or think or do. You have a responsibility. So to detach to the idea of detaching the message one from the other, it's kind of difficult. I would argue, right, that more importantly, right, more importantly, is the function of society, of the people of us, right, to hold accountable these institutions in whichever form they come.
Yeah, I think we should hold these, and that's
Yeah.
what that's why we're having this discussion. And as you can see by some of the feeds,
Mhm.
the church was built for, now this is, control. They have an agenda.
I would
Uh,
I would
you
say that
know,
they're maintained.
religious cults to me,
And for power.
They
and
could
for
be
power.
they could be maintained for power. I mean,
Hmm.
in any grand community, right? And has some sort of influence, and it's true, right, that there is that element of control. At the same time, at the same time, and I'm not necessarily advocating for, in again, any particular church.
Right.
I'm talking about the experience that I have, seeing my mom and seeing the church that she pastors, right? Is that the reality is too that the churches that gain most of the attention do not represent either the majority of the thinking of the church or have a louder speaker than anybody else in the community. And that is
Right.
true for everybody, because the people, like, for example, sometimes the people that they give the microphone in the news representing the Muslim community usually tend to be the people that are the most radical out there ideas, never to the people who are inserted in their communities, trying to, right, trying to look out for their community regardless of religion. And that is a fault of how we represent things today.
Mhm.
In the case of what I can speak, because again, I identify more with the Christian sector, but if somebody has another background, please say it out loud, because I know that you will agree with me. Um,
Hey,
but you would say that Joel Osteen or
mm,
T. Jakes do not speak for all Christianity.
no, they
No.
don't.
No.
Joel Osteen is, and this is just my personal
Yeah.
Oh,
opinion.
here we go.
Yeah.
He's a glorified public speaker,
Absolutely.
right? He's got a story for everything. He tells
Absolutely.
stories. I don't see him teaching or pastoring people. He's not doing that. He's a hype man.
I
You
see
know,
him. I see him closing a church to people who need it in the middle of a storm.
right?
Right. Uh, again, to me, the important aspect of this, right, is that the fundamental question comes as the idea of what is the function of religion nowadays, because it's no longer that functionality that it had, say, 10,000 years ago, right, where
Right.
you can go back to that earliest script, or that if Stonehenge is a temple or a sacred area,
Right.
we have
Well,
it no
that's the
longer
that,
serves the same
that's
purpose.
that's the same thing I was saying when I was saying what the tithe was originally for, right?
Mhm.
The tithe goes all the way back to Jewish tradition.
Mhm.
The tithe goes back to the Jewish tradition.
Yeah,
Where did the tithe go? The tithe went to the Levites.
yeah,
That's what the Jewish practiced that.
yeah.
And even today, the Jewish don't practice the tithe because there's no more Levites, right? So so
In a more modern interpretation,
Ain't
a
that right?
more modern interpretation of that could be the functions of maintaining a temple.
mm, right.
But again, in an area or a time of interconnectivity, right?
Mhm.
What is a
Well,
temple?
let me get to let me get to this comment real quick. Interesting, because being a Southern American, I have come across way more radical Christians than any news proposed
News.
Muslim.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
news. Yeah, proposed Muslim. So there's that agenda again.
Yeah, and it is true in Southern America, in Southern America, Central America, Latin community, you would see a more prevalency of Christianity. There is that biases. Talk about history, talk about social encounters, right? Yes, there is.
But isn't that, wouldn't that be in South America? Wouldn't that be more Catholicism than it would be Christianity?
There's it all depends, right? Again, where theologically you stand. In tradition, yes, it would be Catholicism traditionally. In the efforts of for example, if you talk about the US, right, in terms of these revival movements, they for the longest time concentrated in South America. So it's
Mhm.
no wonder why there's a lot of departure from that model of Catholicism, and you see these more prevalent Christian, again, very mega church like thinkers in South America. Um, and that now, right? Now you see a lot of that mixture. Again, if you see some of these messages, man, it's all about the tithes and the offerings, and and the blessing and seal the promise and the prosperity gospel, right?
Right.
Which to me seemed like the natural evolution that happens, right, in any given Christian community, or in the case of Christian community or any religious idea, is that you start with, we're here for the necessities and all of this, and once you're implanted yourself in the community, oh, then let's be prosperous, or let X, Y, and Z be blessed and multiplied in their finances, and like you mentioned in the previous example, you see all these structures and all these ideas and all these talking, but the people are not fed. The
Right.
people are not.
And I don't care who you are. I don't care what your religion is or what your faith is. There's no way that you're gonna give a tenth in the tithe and you're gonna be blessed 10 times over, right? In what
Oh
you
yeah,
do, if you're not, if
but
you're not.
mathing in these things. But
Okay,
nobody.
so let me read these comments real quick. Nicole
Go ahead.
Brown said the Catholic Church used it as a way for people to buy salvation and outlawed the personal ownership and reading of the Bible. She also said, question, why does Christianity have so many different, I guess, sections?
Mhm.
Sex.
They are sex. They are all still Christians. They can't even agree on how to worship. How do you trust that type of organization?
I would say that's a good question. Personally, I don't. I have. I am technically, by all the measures in my family, I'm technically an atheist by all measures.
Wow.
So, here's the thing. You can also say it from the perspective of, how do we have this political system if nobody can agree on it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an idea that we somehow were willing to ignore some elements, find some commonalities, and then from there, I would never, again, I don't see myself agreeing with a MAGA Republican, right? To whom that offends, I hope it offends you, right? But
Right.
I can't see myself, seeing eye to eye to a MAGA Republican, but in the idea of, like, do we practice the principle of democracy, right? For what in the books could be written democracy, then yeah, right? So
Right.
so I I think that, again, when you see all these divergencies and all of these elements that differentiate with one another, not only for Christians, but for for Judaism and for Muslim, they
Yeah.
all have their divisions.
Yes. Yeah. The Shiites and there's a. Yeah.
It's just that we are too ignorant sometimes to sit down and study all the versions that exist of it.
Right.
And you know, I'm guilty of that. I'm pretty sure that a lot of us are guilty, unless you're Troy, who's always posting about, you know, something that he's reading. No, but the whole point being is that all these divisions, right? In the micro things, in the local things, they're gonna differ from somebody 2 towns over. In
Mhm.
macro things, right? You try to look for commonalities that would give you that idea of power or unity in an ideal. Um, but even but it's not uncommon to see, right, that each element of thinking will tailor to the flavor of the town. That's just
Right.
that's
Yeah.
just the nature of how we build communities as human species. Because when you take this question to its ultimate idea, it's no longer about the idea of religion. It's about how we as a species relate to one another. And that is why we always question, the answer of that religion, the question that religion has to answer right now, and that is contending with it. What is its functionality in a society that is modern as we do? Because even some of these texts, they were not counting that we could connect with each other on
Right.
a platform like this.
On a
Because
platform and discuss things like that.
that is
So
correct.
Right.
again, you know, and I think even when the church first started, there was divisions there. I mean, the Pauline Gospels is totally different from the Jesus Gospels,
Mm.
and if you read the book, the people that followed Jesus with Jesus reprimanded Paul for his gospel.
The
You
the
know what I mean?
amount.
So there was
Read real
divisions.
quick. They're piling up.
Okay.
So she laughed earlier about what you said, and she said she doesn't too much trust it either, like you said. Cherie says religion is fuckery, period, and that's her opinion. And Shay agreed with that. She said I was thinking it, but Cherie said it. Dale, the political system we have in place today supposedly started as a republic, but has deviated far from the U.S. Constitution. Christianity has also evolved from slavery. It was practiced today. Just remember Richard Allen.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the last thing Cherie said?
Yeah.
Shay Goodman.
Talking about Brittany, just saying.
Right.
Yeah. Um. Listen, the reality is that religion started as a tool that we all use to tell a common story. And I have to agree with Yuval Harari, Dr. Yuval Harari. If nobody has read it, or I recommend that you read it, is Sapiens. Um, it's a very good book, phenomenal. It's long, but it tells a good. It frames the evolution of mankind, or the history, right, or the evolution of humankind.
What's the name of that book again?
It's
Sapien.
Sapiens. I'm actually gonna put it right now for everybody,
Yes, please.
and I'm
Please.
putting it on the Amazon link. But don't buy it on Amazon. Look for a local store, okay? Because we also have to support our local stores. But Sapiens, human. That's the history of humankind. Brief history of humankind. And I like the focus that Dr. Yuval Harari puts on it, because I think it's a very important. It's a very important framework, right? The tool of religion started as a story that we all use to find commonality. The same, and he frames the whole story of the humankind, history of humankind, as stories. Like, for example, and the best way for us to understand it, he talks about money being a story that we all agree. Intrinsically, right? Money has no value. What has the value is the goods and services that you can provide, and that you exchange that for a common story that we all believe, because you believe that if you give me $100, I will give you a video out of that, right?
Right.
But the paper itself doesn't hold any meaning. We have, along the story of humankind, we have used shells, other metals, rocks, other elements that represent that story. And we as a community and a society believe that story, believe in that story. Religion was one of those tools that got us moved on or advanced, because we needed to believe a common story, a common idea,
Right.
right? And
You have to-
I hope that really everybody can go and read that book or find it in your local library and support them too, because we pay for that.
Right.
And read it, because I think it's a very, very good resource. And the idea that all of these elements that we're discussing today, that is an important discussion, are framed in a way that we can all see it for what it is, the tool that it is, and that we, moreover, and more importantly, we can hold those institutions accountable because of
That
the
part.
functionality that they have in
Right. That part.
society.
Everybody saying thank you.
Yes,
And
thank you.
yes, support small businesses and local businesses. Dale says sorry for the typos and he should come on. Yes, Dale, come on
Yes,
anytime. Anytime. Shay, I'm over here dying and now I gotta watch it after this. I don't know what she's talking about, but okay. So we do
Thank
agree
you, Ricardo.
on some things. And Ricardo, once again, we love when you come on. Troy, we should play the video before we go out.
Okay, yeah, so this is a concept video that we made for a liquor store.
Every hood with a liquor store. They say before there's smoke, there's fire. So before there's a party, there's a liquor store. Check. Hey yo, I hung by that liquor store, slung by that liquor store. Young in the slums, got my first gun by that liquor store. Selling jumps, cops come, we running from that liquor store. Got my first piece of ass coming from that liquor store. Wino singing whispers at the liquor store. Never made they dream, so they still stuck wishing by the liquor store. And this is for all the RIPs front of the liquor store. The lost one with their faces on white tees by the liquor store. A born loner, yeah, I sip Corona. Yeah. Lady luck fucked me over by a Dutch and curse out the store owner because he tripping like I gotta buy now. Gave me a scout, not knowing the weight of the world's on my brow. So I'm like, fuck your liquor store. Next day we back front of the liquor store. Style forever sycamore. While I'm in this bitter war, my homie got his socks slipping, drifting off in this car right outside the liquor store. Damn. Everybody knows your name there by my liquor store. Young killers trying to make their name down by that liquor store. True. Communities mask they pain down at the liquor store. Yeah. That's just how it goes down. Check my liquor store. It's a black celebration. We go buy out the liquor store. My party with my clique. Strategize about getting more. Socializing with a chick and she want me to hit it raw. Said before I come through first, stop by the liquor store. Seen the pastor at the liquor store. He saw me stressing. Said don't worry son, your cup overrunneth with blessings. He said no man truly knows the Lord's resurrection day. And the next time I see you, put 20 in that collection plate. Cool. Now as I leave the liquor store, unsigned artists sell CDs by the liquor store. Niggas ask me, do I need trees by the liquor store? SBs attract new SDs by the liquor store. Word on the street, Big Ty just robbed the liquor store. So overlapping units make it hot down by the liquor store. Everybody knows your name right down by my liquor store. So I pour a shot for all the people behind prison doors. Yeah. Everybody knows your name down by my liquor store. True. Young killers trying to make their name down by the corner store. True. Communities mask they pain down at the liquor store.
Communities mask their pain.
For every block with a liquor store. Snoop had St. Nas pumping at the liquor store. Arguing about J and I's down at the liquor store. Effing and vodka and Ciroc down at the liquor store. My nigga Ye got his bottle with touch right up in the liquor store. When mommy died, I ran right to that liquor store. Getting drunk, pondering what the hell I'm living for. That's how it goes down in my liquor store. That's just how it goes down at my liquor store.
So that was liquor store.
And you guys, Troy put that together as a concept video where he just put stuff over the words. And actually, if you really listen to that, it's just not a rap song. It's
Yeah, it's
telling
really-
you the struggles of the liquor store in the hood.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to me, and I don't
Very
I don't want to delay this more because I can. That's another topic that I think it would be wonderful to talk about, right?
Yeah, we should definitely put that on there.
But those
Yeah.
images about how people who have, that now occupy a high place, right,
Mhm.
and know the problems of the projects, the hood, the poor places, and know the scars of those liquor stores or these addiction hubs, right?
Yep.
Somehow they have made it into their marketing lifestyle idea that they sell, and they're willing to poison their own people and those communities that are at more exposed. And
You
more
said it.
marginalized.
Addiction hub.
Yeah,
Yes.
to make a profit. So
Right. We're 10 minutes over. We
Yeah.
love it. When
Dang.
you come on, Ricardo, it's not because of you, but it was a really good topic. Next week, we're going to come up with we're going to talk about Justice for Jalen next week, but we're not going to do that. The parents need more time. We need to talk to the attorney to see what we can and cannot say. So you guys just keep in tune. We're gonna definitely bring Ricardo back. Del, you need to come back too. Come on, we could have a really deep conversation. We love you, Ricardo. Thank you for coming on.
Yes,
you
thank
very
you,
much.
Ricardo.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
everybody that's watched the show has just got 20 points IQ smarter. So Del, yeah, thanks. Del says, really nice show, brother Ricardo, knowledgeable brother. I enjoyed it. Great, and you need to come on, Del. Well, we got to see what your schedule is. We definitely need to get you on too. So again, Sharif, do your thing.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for watching in about television. Episode 118. I'll see you on 119 next week at
Next
8
week.
p.m. Eastern Time.
Next week.
Peace.
Thank you for coming on.
We're in a lot of trouble because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniac. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
Good show, guys.
Man, my fingers be working. I'll be over here on the phone.
And
Troy.
we got a lot of people that started to comment on these subjects, and that's what we need. We need more
Better
banter
subject.
back and forth. Yeah, better subjects. People.
Yes.
That was really good. There's a lot of
A
interaction.
lot of comments.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we had a lot of people on YouTube.
Yep,
Oh,
I
shit.
saw that.
We're still live, but we're still live.